Hi, Rahul. Welcome to the Grow and Connect podcast. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this.
Good. Thanks for coming on. And maybe we'll start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself, about your background, and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, so let's look at it from a Happy Gilmore, the movie introduction here. So I'm a soccer player playing business. So I started a company in 2004. Previously worked at a publicly traded company called Realtor.com. They were under the umbrella called Home Store at the time. Now they're Move.com, and they've changed hands over and over since. But that gave me my start to business, kind of gave me the grit of what it takes to be pretty bulletproof mindset and emotional wise when it comes to business, to succeed and grow. And then when we started in 2004 as a design house, we migrated into a marketing house. And then with the recent changes over the last few years, we've really embraced a lot of AI to optimize our whole entire process, procedures from sales to operations to delivery, fulfillment, support. And then now we help a lot of businesses implement those same types of tools and systems to grow and scale.
Okay. And so now you're running a business that's focused on marketing.
Yeah, so there's a couple of units right now. So our marketing agency does like paid ads, funnels, websites, all that good stuff, right? So we drive a lot of traffic for our clients to get them leads and sales. The second part is a spin-off of that, which started approximately around 2018, all by mistake, was a coaching business that taught what we just did to build this business. How do we get leads? How do we source them? What services do we offer? How do we price it? What contracts do we use? So all the little details I kept getting asked from these co-working spaces that I would go in and out of just helping people. So somebody asked us to pay us to learn our system. So then we're like, all right, well, if one person pays us, maybe we can have 10 people at the same time pay us. So we just got on the phone, called 9 more people. They all said yes. So we started a coaching business. So it's all in parallel. What we do in real time in our daily lives and our systems that we have now for our agency, we also spun off and started a coaching agency. Off of that, the unique part of it is one of our members owned an AI company called Thinker. Came to us with a private conversation, a one-on-one call, and we discussed. And then lo and behold, we became partners in a voice AI company. So now that's part of our repertoire. And think of it like this. So if you're a business owner or a consultant or whatever role you play, you're generating leads. Doesn't matter the source. Could be ads, it could be billboards, direct mail, follow-ups, referrals, etc. But then when we miss calls, we don't follow up, or we're just not there at the right place at the right time, because timing is everything in today's world. Considering we have the TikTok effect, people scroll like crazy. So speed really, really matters. And it's the difference between a sale and no sale just by that pickup. So if somebody calls within seconds, AI can answer the phone, qualify them, route them to the right department, get it to a closer or a support staff. And then same thing with leads. A lead comes in, immediate call, because after about 1 minute, the probability of an answer rate is going to diminish significantly. So then we bring those leads into your ecosystem. So I look at it from a business does the marketing, but another company benefits. It's because their speed to lead systems are gone. They don't exist. They're too casual. They think a lead is waiting for them to get contacted. That's not the case. When people inquire, they want a solution, and they wanted it before they made that phone call. So that's where a thinker comes in, where it kind of saves the day in the sense of call the leads, answer the calls, inbound, outbound. And one cool thing that people can check out on the website is you can actually talk to the website. It's becoming more and more common, but I think it'll be extremely common by the end of the year going into 2027, where a lot of websites will just have a big circle, not a lot of content, maybe content to kind of feed LLMs and rank high and Perplexity and ChatGPT and all those things. But for the most part, we'll have talking websites all over the place where you can be interactive, where it can just describe and price or give out service information, book calls, transfer leads, etc. So that's kind of the third unit that we've now kind of put under our portfolio of companies.
Okay. And so have you then integrated the voice AI system into your agency? For example, if you're driving traffic, to a form and someone's filling out a form, as soon as someone submits that form, do they then get a phone call?
Yeah, they'll get three or four things actually. One, they'll get a text message so our name appears so it's familiar. Number two, they'll get an immediate email. And number three will be an outbound call to them so they have a higher answer rate. So we time it in and around 5 to 30 seconds, 5 seconds to 30 seconds, where our outbound agent is going to call them. That outbound agent can do a couple of things. Anything we tell it to do, just like we would train a human, except with AI, it's in lightning speed. I can train it in a matter of like 2 to 3 minutes versus 2 to 3 months, like humans. But anyways, it can qualify them, which we do. We make sure that they're in the right place, and then once they're qualified, then we offer them to book a call with our team, and can it self-schedule on our calendars, and that schedule round robins to our sales team. The fourth component is now bringing in human intervention, because all roads in our sales process lead to some form of interaction with a human, so they can have that intimacy and that trust factor as well. So our sales team is following up, trailing the AI.
Okay. And so, you've been running your agency for a long time now, before AI. So you've integrated this system that helps with qualification. Have you integrated other AI systems into your business in the last year or two?
Yeah, we're using Claude for a lot of things. I'm not the tech guy, I'm the idea guy. So whenever I have an idea, I give it to my team and they make it happen. Like even little things that become big things. Like accountability is important because we want to make sure that our team is held accountable, not just by end-of-day reports and meetings and all this that take up time we don't want to necessarily spend. So we implemented our Claude system into our ticketing system to make sure that everybody who's on our support team is getting to the tickets fast enough, and it spits out regular reports every 30 minutes, what's getting late, what got closed, who did a good job, just so that the AI is holding our humans even accountable so we don't have to. So it's created a lot
Okay.
of operational, that's just one example that I have it helping me come up with ideas for content, creating the content, and then I review it, or somebody on the team reviews it, make sure it's brand aligned, alter it so it's going to be like we train our AI like a human, so it can just be a powerful weapon. And ultimately, we will release it where it's like operating our computers. Right now, we're holding off because I don't trust it just yet personally to kind of run itself, but eventually we'll get there in the next month or two.
And so what types of things are you looking to get it to do once it's running your computers in the next month or two?
For me in my role specifically, I like distribution. So like meaning like marketing, content, organic, and ads. So I'm going to be always constantly focusing on the front end of how do I get strangers to know, like, and trust us as quickly as possible through organic copy, videos, and ads. So that's my primary objective, is automating what's in my brain, because there's so much ideas. Probably for you and everybody listening, you guys are entrepreneurs, right? You own the business, your brain's running a million miles an hour, and we got to slow it down so our ideas can take us off of the beaten path. With the AI, it's going to be like, you're going to be my director of marketing for organic, then you're going to be my director of marketing for paid ads, then you're going to be my director of marketing of coming out with the hooks, just so I have everything aligned on the marketing front. Then the next phase, my team is working on their own side of their own operations, which is, now that we got the lead, how do we automate it even further than what I previously described with voice AI, like the emails, the text, the nurtures, the very bespoke based off where you are in your life cycle of your business, feed information to kind of nurture them up so there's some sort of like understanding. If you're a brand new company, we need to give you content that might be useful for a brand new company. Or if you're an advanced company where you have all the budget in the world, we may have different content that you may be wanting to absorb to build trust to find us as the solution provider. So those are the marketing front. Then the opposite end is the delivery front. And that's for my ops team. They're responsible to turn themselves and their brains into AI. So they're building their own stuff. So we typically meet up every couple like weeks on the AI front to see status. Do we like it? We test it. And are we going to implement it, kill it, or continue? Yeah, because like the way we're leaning into is we have enough people already. How do we make those people more powerful in their positions to be able to do 10 to 20x the work without having to work more than 8 to 10 hours a day? and that's only going to be through AI. So we're pretty committed to saying, all right, our manpower, our next hire, our co-founders of new companies are going to be built around the backbone of AI. The humans will be operating it like the puppet masters initially, but we really want to get to the point where our co-founders, our sounding board, our board of directors is turning into AI. So that's kind of the big goal that we have here is stay lean, stay mean, stay profitable, and really accelerate our growth through lean hires through human capital, but massive hires through AI.
Okay. Oh, great. And does your creative team, when you do creatives, I guess we just spoke about content, the organic content, but what about, things like ads? How much do you leverage AI to create your ads and to run campaigns?
Yeah, so AI helps us significantly with the copy. That's one. The human touch does the alterations and editing as needed. The graphics are AI driven. The videos are both, a combination of both. We have those resources because of the nature of our business. We have like video editors and graphic designers and funnel builders still on staff. Their job is to leverage as much AI as humanly possible, even if they want to do it with their usual platforms or softwares like Adobe or DaVinci or whatever the heck they use. I really don't care what they use as long as it gets done timely. But they're leveraging AI more and more in their jobs because I've kind of given them either encouragement or they could have taken it as a warning that if we can't 10x our output, which the only way we can do is with AI, then there won't be a position here for you.
Okay, that's I'm hearing that a lot everywhere, you know.
Yeah, so I don't want to fire people. I want them to embrace it. The only way to not get replaced is embrace it. If you don't want to embrace it, then of course we're going to have no choice because we're live. That's like living in a world with no internet. It just doesn't make sense. Having no cell phone, it doesn't make sense. Like using AI because if we're going to be an early adopter of this thing, and while other people may be skeptics, I love it. Be as skeptical as you want because I actually prefer people to be skeptical because then we get ahead. The further they don't adapt, the better it is for all of us that do, because then once they have to catch up, it's going to be that much harder.
Yeah, it just to me it's crazy that some people don't embrace AI and don't leverage it, but a lot of people out there do. And do you think a big part of that is like a age or
I don't know. Partially yes, but also partially no. It depends on the circles that you roam in. So, like, I grew up in an environment where my dad was a businessman, all his friends were successful business people, the company's public. So, they're always going to embrace it. The conversations we have is how remarkable it is and what projects they're still working on at 78 to 85 years old. They're still involved because their brain is always about the future, not about where we are today. They're anticipating like crazy. So a lot of the conversations I have is more pivoted around like the embracing of AI. But don't get me wrong, there's also the naysayers. But those naysayers are thinking, well, what if somebody steals your information? What if this happens? What if it goes wrong? That's always going to happen. It happens in everything that we use today. Can somebody steal your data? Well, iPhone's been breached. Home Depot's been breached. Costco may have. I don't want to throw Costco under the bus because I love them. I don't know if they have or haven't, but your information's already out there. So I'm looking at it from a standpoint of we're about to live in a world of that cartoon, The Jetsons. At some point before my life is over, I might see a flying saucer, and that's going to be our new superhighways. I might stand on one of those things that move. I forget the name of it at the airports where you just stand and it takes you. That's how like George Jetson would shower and get ready, and the machines do everything like a car wash. So I can see that's the world that we're going to be living in, where robots are going to run the world. And if it's not a signal already, but look at like what Elon Musk is up to. We're going to have robo taxis that just drive us around. Our most precious thing is our bodies, and something that's a technology is going to be transporting us everywhere. So we're going to be trusting AI, right? So I'm just looking at it a matter of time. So it's going to be a forced transition too. But also those same people that are skeptical still are using ChatGPT. They're using Amazon. They're using Netflix. They're using Alexa. They're using Siri. So whether they know it or not, they're already being spied on, if that's their concern, by all their devices they already have on. And they're already using AI. So it has some form of embrace. But if you know how to tell the story to a naysayer, to flip them to an advocate, then it's a very easy conversation to have. because I do that all the time. I run into people all the time. If I sense that you don't like AI, then I might just ask a different question than saying, hey, well, here's how AI is going. Then they're going to always tell me the exact opposite of why it won't go there. I might start a question with, why are so many people scared to embrace AI? I don't understand. And then they're going to talk about why they should embrace AI. So it's kind of I go opposite whenever I hear a naysayer. But I'm also not here to convince somebody that AI is the future of what we or the now and the future. I'm here to talk to the people who are already thinking that way and want to get off the ground.
Yeah, agreed, agreed. So, for your agency,
Mhm.
is there a specific type of client you work with in a specific industry, or tell us a little bit about that?
We were very focused. The way we grew the whole entire business, and the only reason I feel like I'm even here still in business today is because we niched into one industry, and we did not know better. When I say we, it was me, and then I added players to the team. But I didn't know better. I just figured I worked at Realtor.com. I know how to talk to realtors. The rest of the industries don't exist to me. So the only thing my one trick pony brain is going to do is throw the horse blinders on and just smash through calling, emailing, and connecting with real estate agents and sell them what I did. And that's all I did for the first decade. We grew the company fairly well, being fairly lean. We had a 70-man operation. We closed my former employer. Realtor.com was our biggest customer at that time. Then it went on to get projects from like all the top players in the space, from RealtyTrack to Zillow to everything, any name brand that you've heard of. We've done ads for those companies' clients in the real estate space. Then we transitioned into developers and lenders. So we stayed within the real estate ecosystem for a while, up until we just got a can't say no offer to take us off our focus, where we got a project so big that we couldn't say no regardless of our expertise or our direction. It was just the money was too much, so we just kind of went off the beaten path, made a killing off a deal, and then we just broadened our whole horizon to any industry. So I felt like that was the right time to broaden, because we have the cash flow to make a lot of mistakes if we screwed something up, and thank God we didn't. So our diversity of who we've helped goes from local dentistry to, I mean, Geico, right? So it just kind of went through a really, really wide variety. Our thought process was, if we can understand and fulfill a solution at a capacity that the client deserves, we're taking it on. If we had any hesitation whether can we not do this, and our skepticism set in, we would discuss that with the client to get clarity, to make sure that if we're going to do business, we're not trying to do 3, 4 months and get fired because of incapable people or talent on our team. We wanted to make sure that this is going to be like at least a year or more of an engagement. So that was kind of our decision criteria. Can we serve the client right? Can we make the money that we need to make? And then if the answer is yes and yes, we go forward. And of course, the client had to obviously choose us over other people as well.
And so at this point in time, you're still working with a dentist office, from as small a company as a dentist office to as large as
As a
Geico.
large companies, yeah, established companies, yeah, like larger players in the space, yeah. So, yeah, and a lot of people use us. They kind of like almost like In and Out has a pretty simple menu, the burger chain. We do too. So, I mean, like sometimes I know that, like, let's say, for example, I'll give the Geico example since I brought it up already. I already know they have in-house. They probably have some fancy Manhattan, New York suits that do their campaigns and strategies, while we can probably do it leaner, faster, better, and cheaper. Just need those name brands because their CEOs and their board of directors want, just regardless of good, they want the best, right? In terms of like name brand. So I'm not unfamiliar with that. So I would go to those name brand agencies and be a piece of their puzzle. And most people used us to do the creatives. So when Geico ran commercials, like that soccer player running on his knees and he's sliding like 100 yards with a funny angle where they go into 15 minutes can save you 15% or more. But we would take the television ad and make it into digital ads. So we were doing all their digital creations, and that for a lot of companies as well. So that's how we partnered with the agencies, and then ultimately some of the bigger name brands would come direct.
Okay, cool. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about your coaching agency. You've been running that for just a few years now?
Since 2018. It's a little bit more, about 8 years. So it's coming on a decade fairly soon here.
And the individuals in that program who you coach are they're all marketing agency owners, or are they more general business?
For the most part, there's a wide variety of agencies, primarily in different stages of their life cycle. But sometimes there are people that own an accounting firm or a dentist company where their owners or their marketing people want to learn how to do this stuff in-house. So we're kind of creating our own competition and taking away our own ability to have end customers, but also we're making them customers on a different part. So if we can teach a person to fish, they can fish forever type model. So that's kind of what we do, is saying, hey, we can teach you how to do it, or we can do it for you. Teaching you how to do it, it's going to take your time, your money, and your energy. Now, doing it for you, it's just a done solution. It's just your money. We won't take up too much of your time. So it's kind of like to each their own option. But for the most part, we narrow it down to primarily, like I'd say 95% is agencies. And then sporadically we'll get somebody who has one of those outs, like a brick and mortar or a normal company, like a small business owner that wants to learn this, but they want to learn it for two things. Number one, for their company, so they can use their agency knowledge that we teach them to be their own marketing agency for their own core company that they started. Then their secondary option is, I want to create a secondary income stream, because if I crack the code to my marketing for my, let's say, kitchen cabinet company, and I can show through me as being the case study and show my numbers, my revenue, my systems from before and after as a blog or a video, they can go after that same industry all over the country or outside the country and sell their system they're using to their own competitors. So it kind of creates that dual effect of income.
Okay. And what is the program, what does the coaching look like? Is it a community? Is it, coursework? What does it look like?
Yeah, so it's a community every single day except for Sunday, just like Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday, so are we. But Monday through Saturday, we have open office hour calls, all themed with a different matter. We use the platform High Level. So we teach them how to set up, use High Level, build funnels, build automations, use the AI inside, to sales, to marketing, to content, to video, to AI tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude, SOPs, hiring, scope of works, everything we do in our agency, they get. So it's kind of like a franchise of our company they can have access to. And then we teach them how to go out and advertise and get clients. The way we do that is through Zoom calls. We have them, like I said, every single day. I have one coming up in about half an hour on sales and marketing. And then we have a group, like a Facebook group, and then a community that's a little bit intimate, where we upload our recordings, any kind of guest interviews that we've done that might add value. So that's kind of how we manage everybody. And then everybody gets Slack access. They have a one-on-one channel with a direct support contact. So if they feel like they've got some wins, they can share it and they're excited. If they've got some losses and they need to unload something off their chest, they have that sounding board and everything in between.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for sharing. So now back to the Thinker, the voice AI company that we touched on a bit earlier. What type of clients do you see adopting that? What type of companies do you see implementing that?
I mean, overall, like if we fast forward to the future to 2027 and we look at what that looks like, I would say every company has an opportunity to be a customer of a voice AI platform. When comparing Thinker to other platforms, there's always going to be some form of pro and con. The quality of what Thinker has provided, and why me and my partner on my marketing agency even got involved with, it's because to me, it's not just a little above and beyond the quality and the simplicity that's built in, where an 80-year-old can literally build AI bots faster than a 20-year-old who uses some other complex setup. Like, it takes lightning quick. It takes about 35 seconds to build an AI employee on our platform versus 10 to 20 days before somebody may give up on another. So I think every company will be using voice AI by next year, by at least the end, or should be. Our current audience is twofold. Because I come from the marketing background and we built the marketing cohort with our coaching program, our first target audience was, all right, what's our lowest hanging fruit and how can we adopt members really quickly that are paying members? So we just rolled through our existing clients and leads and people who are already in our communities on the marketing side. So that was our first flow of customers and continues to be. So we offer a reseller white label program where people can spend $500-600 a month and resell Thinker under their own brand name and charge anything they want, from 5,000 a month, 1,000 a month, $10,000 builds, all kinds of crazy stuff people are doing, making a living off of just white labeling our platform. So the marketing agencies are one aspect. And then we're doing bespoke partnerships, meaning if we find a category that we can penetrate into, whether it's by contact lists or events or whatever, as long as there's a big enough marketplace, we partner inside those specific niche industries because our platform is independent. You can use it by itself. But then when we plug it into a system, like we're plugged into high level, so it's automatically natively built in, no programmers needed. We've done the same thing in the pharmacy space. So we see that we have an opportunity in the pharmacy space. So we said, all right, these independent pharmacies that are getting 100 to 200 calls per day are paying pharmacists that get paid $80 per hour to answer phones, and they can't do their job. So we've turned those pharmacies into ringless pharmacies, and our platform will automatically validate, verify that their RX numbers and prescription refills and send it to the pharmacist to do their job. So no more phone calls anymore. Handles customer service. When will my order be ready? Like everything has been like really, really dissected over the last 12 months to make this like way better, not only equivalent to, but I would say in the next few months, it'll be 10 times far greater than a human could do.
Okay, very, very cool.
Yeah.
So, as you know, as a business owner for over 20 years now, what kind of mistakes do you see business owners just starting out make?
Giving up too early, never committing to an idea and going with it, and then also listening to the wrong people for the right advice.
Okay, fair. And then what advice would you give those that are just starting out?
Like if you're just starting out, like first the thing has nothing about tangible skills. It has everything to do with determination, discipline, right? Motivation, I don't like anymore. I used to think that was a compliment. Oh man, you're so motivated. I think that's now that I'm a little bit wiser and older. I think that's kind of like, I know that's supposed to be a compliment, but I think it's negative because motivation requires willpower. Willpower comes and goes. Discipline means you're going to do it no matter what. And it's not even subconsciously or consciously in your brain. You're just doing. So I think discipline is the most important thing. Determination to want to be the best version of yourself and be better every day. And then also giving up a lot of things that you ordinarily would like to do but can't do anymore. Like hanging out with your friends at 2 p.m. on a Monday, right? You got to give all that shit up. You have to go all in onto this business because it's a lot bigger than just you. It's not just putting a CEO title on a business card and going and introducing yourself as a broke CEO. It's a matter of like you have a mission and a vision. And this guy, Bedros, I don't know how to say his name, he wrote a book called Man Up, and he owns a bunch of gyms, like a boot camp thing. I completely forget the name of it, but there's like over 200 franchises. But he said a phrase called suffer in silence. And it doesn't mean you're actually suffering. It means work while they're not, and then just remain quiet, stay disciplined, stay focused. Be good at one thing and one thing only with one offer, one price. And I'm speaking more so to the consultants and marketers, and be the best at one thing and then broaden out. For me, I was the best at selling advertisements to realtors. Could I have sold more stuff? Yeah, but I would have confused myself. I would have mixed two products up. I would have priced myself out of the marketplace potentially. And then once I sell something, my delivery team would be like, well, you sold a website, plus you sold marketing, plus you sold this. How are we going to get all this done? So now I don't have SOPs. So I just said, let me get rich off a cheaper product that I'm only going to be the best at, the most referred by through commitment, and not necessarily say I'm the best, but be the best. And that took me about 2 to 3 years just for me to start getting like, not just referrals, but people who would call me and saying, I need this. Here's my credit card. Like they don't even know the price. And it's, I need this. Here's my credit card. And then I'd say, cool, I'm going to bill you 5,000 now. No questions. That's how we became the best, right? Because we're just that good at advertisements, like creating ads that converted. So that's my advice to the people just starting out, is that unrelentless, like focus, because there's going to be so many doubts in your head. The easiest way is whatever those doubts say, honestly, thicken the skin and just do the opposite. If it says, hey, I'm tired, do some jumping jacks, immediately your brain will tell you you're not. right? So it's kind of like counterintuitive, but I just do the opposite and I flip my emotions, right? So if I feel fear, I'm like, all right, sweet. I'm not going to use it like a normal person where they're scared and bitch out. I'm going to use fear as a driver and saying, all right, I'm fearful only because I haven't done it, so I'm going to do it now so I don't even care about it anymore. Right? So I kind of flip the negative emotion to a positive, you know?
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for that advice. And so, for those listening that want to get in touch with you, can you give us the name of your coaching business and your agency one more time?
Yeah, the agency's called Custom Creatives, but the easiest way to find us is probably on Facebook and maybe even LinkedIn. It's called GSD and it stands for Get Shit Done. I mean, the fastest way is just look me up on Facebook by my name. There should only be one of me. So I'm sure you'll find me. You'll see the one with the most recent content post. Anything that doesn't have anything recent is not me.
Okay, awesome. And I'll link it at the bottom of this video as well. So, thanks, Rahul, for coming on and sharing what you do and sharing the wisdom, your
Awesome. Well,
wisdom.
thank you for
So,
having me. I
no
appreciate
problem.
that.
Thank you.